All right, guys, what's up? I'm back. So if you were on our earlier live stream a few hours ago, I had to I had to cut it off early, so I apologize. It's whenever I have these short weeks, and my mom's calling. Whenever I have these short weeks, my schedule gets all out of control. And so I was mid live stream a couple hours ago, and a client of mine, and I have a gym set up in my house. A client of mine texts me and says, "Hey Johnny, I just showed up. I'm parked. Should I come in?" And I'm like, "Oh shit." Anyway, we're here. Guys, check out the breakdown, analysis, and prediction of my Junto Nakatani Inoue Stats Don't Lie video. That's up on the channel. And we're going to talk about the Benavidez card today. We're going to talk about Japan. We're going to talk about Australia tomorrow. If you're in the Discord, if you're a JSB insider, I've given you 2 tickets so far. So it's Tuesday, April 28th at 11:15 a.m. We have fights that start in about 24, 30 hours from now. So tomorrow night in Melbourne, Australia, which is Wednesday night in Australia. I think Wednesday early morning in America. Skye Nicholson's fighting. The fight that a lot of people are talking about are Andrew Hunt and Ben Hussein. Jake Wiley's on the card. Teramona is on the card as well. The 2 tickets for the JSB Insiders, you have my dog of the week, and I gave you a plus money quad. So 4 fights on the money line that I'm going full unit. I'm going full unit on the dog too. So let me know what you think about that. And other than that, as you're tapping in, like this video. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you who you like in the Inoue Nakatani fight, who you like in Benavidez Zurdo. Funny enough, man, I'm doing, part of my homework is seeing what, some of the YouTube content creators in our boxing space are saying. Our Discord has, we're almost at 500 people, and everybody is super active in there and really sort of on the forefront of boxing knowledge. So I use that tool, and you use whatever other guys you guys watch to kind of get a gist of what people are thinking about specific fights. I just watched 2 guys in the UK both try to tell me that David Benavidez is going to lose to Zurdo. I'm like, what the hell? It's kind of crazy that, and then they do it in like an astute accent. Like sometimes that pompous British accent could kind of sound, at least to me, a kid from Ohio, it kind of sounds pompous. And it's like, I wonder if they really believe that Zurdo's going to win. And or am I being gaslit? But anyway, wherever you are in the world, let me know who you like. Let's get into this. Mike from Melbourne says, "Sub Johnny, hope I'm wrong, but after doing tape, I think Tanaka, for all of his flaws, standing square, no jab, will overwhelm and stop Sasaki. Sasaki didn't gonna give him that. Yeah, oh yeah, it's exactly the fight he's gonna get. Here's why. Obviously, it's a value play. If you're unfamiliar, I'll pull the odds up. This is the fight he's talking about. Now, when I took Jin Sasaki, I got him at $1.85. Let me double check that. When I took Jin, and he's my dog of the week, I got Jin at $1.45. Let's see what he is now. And those odds are coming down. And I'm not the only one. I know Gary at 3D is taking Sasaki as well. He's down to $1.25, still plus money. So to get, here's what I don't like about Tanaka. And sometimes when you watch tape, you take your tape study, and Mike, you've done your homework. You take your tape study, you see what you see. But what I like to do from there then is take all the other sort of variables. For instance, for me, why I think Jin is super live, there's multiple variables. The pros for taking Sasaki as a dog outweigh the pros for taking Tanaka with chalk. Okay? Tanaka, they're both around 24 years old. This fight's at 147 pounds. Tanaka's 5'5". He's a 5'5" welterweight, so he's going to be stocky and short. He's going to want to fight on the inside, and I just referenced that due to Sasaki's style. He's going to give him that fight, like you said, Mike. But from there, at 24 years old, not a big amateur career. He's had 5 pro fights. So in a career that doesn't span a long time, 5 pro fights, 17 pro rounds. 17 pro rounds. That's not doing it for me. I can't take this guy who's that inexperienced. When I'm looking at a guy like Jin Sasaki, yes, he gets hit a lot. Yes, he just stands there and he believes in his power. He's been in there with Brian Norman Jr., got stopped. Been in there with Andy Hiroka, got stopped. Both guys are world level. Those are his only losses. And, he's a taller guy. I think he has more power. He's been in there with the better guys, and you're giving me him at plus money. I think the bookies have it wrong, but then again, that's just my reasoning. There's nothing in Tanaka's tape where I'm like, oh shit, this dude's a one-punch knockout guy. I don't think he has that type of power. And you look at the resume, 17 pro rounds. Who has he fought? Who has he been in there with? I could show you highlight tapes of me at the local gym getting some good rounds, and you might think I'm looking good, and I'm an old head. So it really matters at the world level who you've been in there with. Do I like what Sasaki looked like in his last fight? Not really. He won by knockout when Norman Jr. starched him, which was scary, scary stuff. Go to my Instagram. I shared it on my story. It was Jin's last fight. He's just standing there in the wheelhouse, in the middle, not moving his head, nothing. And he's just absorbing punishment until he catches a hook, and then one punch knocks his opponent out. It's a fun fight. I'm not blaming you for taking. I'm not blaming you for taking Tanaka, but you give me Jin Sasaki on as the dog, bro. You give me Jin Sasaki as the dog, bro. We got to go dog hunting. I had the Swindler hat on in a few weeks because we haven't had action. Randall Light with the super chat. Appreciate you. $5 happy birthday from my boy down here in Texas. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. My birthday was yesterday. 44 years old, dude. 44. It's crazy. I feel blessed. I feel grateful. Another day, another year. We're up. We're up. What's up, fellas? Lots of fights. Let's do our tape study homework. John Magana. It's my favorite time of the week. This is film study. This is film study time. Monday and Tuesday, we're all doing our film study. We're riffing off each other. We're asking questions. We're figuring things out. The two plays I have so far are two tickets that just jumped out. One the 4-leg quad is playing, I think, plus 171. Just 4 fights on the money line. I got a fight tomorrow. I like Andrew Hunt to beat Ben Hussein. And that was a tough one for me. I was really torn. I was really torn to take Hussein as the dog. But after much consideration, I'm going with Andrew Hunt, the Kiwi. He looked good. He looked good against Munir Fatih, man. And he was a dog there. And then I like Benny on the money line, Inoue on the money line, and Duarte. We got another super chat. Pablo Boxing, appreciate you. 5,000 CLPs. Greetings from Chile, Johnny. Love your content. Appreciate you, man. I need to get to Chile. I want to go there, Santiago. I had clients to this married couple that I coach. His family is from his father's family is from Uruguay, and they just spent 7 months traveling all through South America. And, just seeing the photos they've been posting, Chile looks absolutely beautiful. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chat. We got PJ in the house. Anyway, I'm still torn, man. Let's pull up these odds. I was actually just taping this fight, to be honest with you. Inoue versus Ioka. These are the current odds. I'm a little less siding with Ioka. Like an hour ago, PJ, I was 60-40 Ioka. And now I'm 60-40 Inoue. Based off of watching what Inoue recently looked like. And also how, that win against Tenshin Nasukawa has aged pretty well. And I don't know if Ioka, it's just going to come down to work rate, accuracy, winning rounds, energy. I haven't made it official. I do. I'm slightly edging Inoue there. Rob Lee heading to Vegas tonight. You staying at the, where do you usually stay? The Fontainebleau Cosmo? When I lived in Vegas 2011, 2012, the Cosmo was still new. You know what I mean? So the Cosmo was the place to be. The Chandelier Bar. I've had many, many fun nights at the Cosmo. Does the Cosmo still slam? And I used to work at Planet Hollywood, and I used to work at Surrender Nightclub and Excess Nightclub at the Wynn. In a different world, in a different time, I'd be the guy serving you drinks. Now I'm serving you tips and bets. Jin Sasaki is like a statue. True story. He be running 100%. It is, man. That's Sasaki, PJ. You got them all figured out, and it is what it is. You know he did this camp in Vegas, though. So he did. He spent. I know he spent. I think 6 weeks in Vegas training with Raleigh. Take that for what it is. Raleigh and his coaches, Raleigh Romero. You might as well take Jin on the knockout. Yeah, I think that fight. I don't think that fight goes the distance. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not getting props yet. Have you looked into Pradas versus JDM Muay Thai versus boxing? Yeah, man. It's the fights in Australia. We'll get into that in a couple days. We'll get into that in a couple. I'm a big fan of JDM. People think that Prates is just going to come to Australia and dog walk Della Maddalena. I don't know. Yeah, Rob likes Prates. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on Prates, man. I like. Look, it's going to be a striking battle. I mean, he's not going to. Jack's not going to have to worry about the takedown. I like Jack's boxing, man. I like his timing. He has really good timing, and he can crack. Both guys. It's an interesting fight. Yeah, I agree. So Resenda, this is another one that's getting a lot of attention. Let's go to see these odds currently. I might do an underdog. I might just do like a three-legger, little side three-legger, half unit with dogs on it. Cause I don't I just don't know if Resendez is a better boxer than Munguia. It is boxing, man. It is going to come down to who could win more rounds. We talked about this is a good point he brings up. Only GK brings up a good point. We talked about fight camps. Training camps matter. We got Manny Robles. I mean, look at his track record of taking fighters who are underdogs on the line and upsetting the odds. Just in the last 12 months, you guys could name multiple times. I mean, what was Resendez going into the plant fight? What, plus 600? I don't know yet. It's a fun. I mean, it's very tempting to take Resendez on the money line. Get Resendez ASAP. Benny's gonna destroy Zurdo. They said Skye's on. They said Skye is on upset alert. I mean, Mariah is decent. The only way Mariah wins is she's gonna have to cut off the ring, get past Skye's counters, get past Skye's length, corner her, and beat her in the pocket and outpoint her. In Melbourne, a card that has been built around Skye. I don't know. I think it's competitive. I don't think that Mariah should be a plus 600, plus 700. I think she should be like a plus 300. She's going to have to outwork Skye. Chop the legs down. She's going to have to get inside, work the body. Is she live? I don't know. I like the way Skye's looked since she lost. Since her her upset loss, a fight in which I thought she won. You could say what you will. She was in, that fight was in Brisbane, right? It was either in the Goldie or Brisbane, and I thought she beat her. Tiara Brown. I thought she beat Brown. I had her up 2 rounds. I was kind of, I didn't have much money on that fight from just what I saw, but I like the adjustments that Skye has made since she came down. I'm pretty sure since that loss, she came down a division. We hit on her fight, her comeback fight. Remember, we hit a plus 600 Skye by knockout. I was telling everybody. I went out the night before and was kicking it with shout out to God damn it, Chanel Dargan. Shout out to my girl Chanel Dargan. Chanel's a dog. We were at the casino and Chanel Dargan was giving me insider information. She's like, "Look, I've been trying to fight Skye. This girl that Skye's fighting was supposed to fight me." And she was like, she just had a kid. It was something like that. But I like what Skye's looked like since. She seems like she's less antsy in her footwork. She's sitting on her punches. I think if she chooses to punch with Mariah and move less and look to counter, it could be an exciting fight. Does Mariah have enough in that tank to win rounds? I think she's a Kiwi. We know about how tough the Kiwis are, mate. We just saw it with Auntie. We just saw what Auntie just did, boy. The parlay killer. Shadesha Green, boy. We're still haunted by that, aren't we? Auntie Lonnie was out there beating the brakes off of Shadesha Green, boy. And we got Andrew Hunt, who's a Kiwi. Man, you guys know I'm a big fan of Kiwi boxing. I go back to the David Tua days. Riding with Hunt anyway decision. Yep, Hunt money line. What's up, Angel Calito? I like Hunt. I like anyway decision. David. Ooh, I mean, I love Benavidez on points. Damn, that's plus 500. Let's go. I might take anyway by knockout, though. I might take anyway by knockout. As quiet as it's kept. Yeah, Duarte should dominate Fierro. I think Duarte is another guy, if you ask me. When I look at a fighter, I never categorize a fighter for this is the trajectory of a fighter. A guy who's not a journeyman, a guy who's still striving to get to their potential. I always judge a fighter on their growth, not one individual performance. So if you take Oscar Duarte and if you just take his timeline from when he got stopped against Garcia to now, coming out the most recent fight against Kenny Sims, I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a guy who is leveling up. I'm seeing a guy who's adding things to his game. We know how determined he is. We know how he loves the front foot. We know he's always going to be in shape. I think he should get this done pretty convincingly. And Duarte should be a name, in the division that could get big fights too. He has a fan base now. Shout out to Oscar Duarte and how he's come back. I always cheer for guys who could pick themselves off the canvas after a loss and rebuild. I'm a big fan of the rebuild. It just shows that you have character. What's up, bro? Anyway, all day. Appreciate it. Yeah, 100%. How do you think Inoue gets it done, boys? Do you think, if you guys are on Inoue, do you think it's on points or do you think he stops Junto? And if you're on Team Junto, how does Junto get it done? Do you think Junto's going to outpoint, and win rounds, or does he stop Inoue? Johnny, I think Inoue's speed is going to get it done. Me too. I think Takuma's speed and the tread on the tires of Ioka too. Dude, these Japanese boxing, the boys in the Discord will know this next statement. The True Blues, our group, we love Japanese boxing. It could be tricky to bet on, though, boys. Like, it could be tricky, man. Japanese boxing will make you scratch your head sometimes when there's just a lot of 50-50 fights. So what I would suggest, because we do have a handful of some really high-level matchmaking this week, I would suggest to not be greedy, to tell yourself that you do not have to bet on every single fight. It's okay to watch a boxing match and not have action on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to do that, guys. We don't have to bet on every fight, guys. Because the last thing we want to do is have, we've had these sort of, a couple weeks in a row where, not a lot of big names to where now there's a lot of big names and we're big eyes. And you might, just have some strategy with what you bet, how much you bet, and who you bet on. Because the Japanese cards, man, they can be tricky. Palazzo back in the day, Fontainebleau, nice. Palazzo, dude. Damn, I miss Vegas. I have a love-hate relationship with Vegas. I have a love it. I do miss it though. I was a wild boy in those days, Rob. You and me, that's why we get along. That was in my ponytail days, Rob. When I lived in Vegas, I had the hair down to here, the eye piercing, the tongue, my nip, dude, everything was pierced. I was a savage maniac, dude. What do you think about Inoue, Nakatani, both? I mean, I don't mind it, Jay. Voorhees, I don't mind that at all. I played. Now it didn't hit. It hasn't hit in the last 2 fights, but I played the knockdown in the Neri fight. I played the knockdown in the Cardenas fight, and then I got greedy, and I've played the knockdown in every fight since, and it hasn't shown up. But I think I'm gonna do a fun little prop for that fight. That's a fun fight. 60,000 people at the Tokyo Superdome Saturday night here in Sydney. Oh God, let's go. Get the old fashions ready. Let's go. If I do have a cocktail at the house, it'll be I like an old fashioned. Maybe like a Pendleton or like a Maker's Mark old fashioned. That's like it's going into winter now, so like during the summer if I make a nice cocktail, it'll be like a homemade margarita with like Corzo. I do like Uradura as well. But that, the weather's getting cold, so if I'm watching boxing, a nice smoky old fashioned sounds tasty. Saturday night Japan boxing, let's go. Interesting to see adaptation. Skye takes in Turner fight from a Brown loss. Turner seems to have similar fight style. Yeah, just a matter of quality. The thing that Skye, she's a really seasoned boxer. I think Mariah's only been fighting a few years. The thing that you can't speed up, one of those things that you can't buy in boxing is that experience learned and gained of knowing the topography of where a fight is taking place as a fighter. That experience that Skye's had since she was a little girl of knowing where the fight is taking place, the timing of her opponent, where her front foot should be, where, the distance she is just sliding out of range to come back. All that is learned through experience and years and years and years. Mariah doesn't have that. So I assume what we will see is an outclass. I could see Skye just outclassing her. Skye on points. I'm cool with it. I'm not getting those props yet. So I will do an Australian prop parlay. I'm sold on Andrew Hunt. So I think Ben Hussein is brave. Ben Hussein's tall. He's big. We've seen him stopped twice before against lesser opponents. And Andrew Hunt he has a mean left hook. He could punch, and he likes punching with his opponents. So I'm probably going to look for a prop on that fight and a prop on the Skye Nicolson fight. I'm not going to play the Jake Wiley fight, guys. One of you boys asked me, and you guys are clever. When I posted my 4-legger in the Patreon today, one of the boys asked simply, is Jake Wiley not good? And I was assuming you asked that question because you didn't see Jake Wiley on my parlay. It's not that he's not that good. I just don't want him in my parlays to confuse things. Like he has one gear. Jake Wiley literally got signed to Matchroom for going the distance with a old George Kambosos. And then since and shout out to Jake Wiley, shout out to Matchroom. I love seeing a kid building a name off of another guy. And that's what makes our sport great. But it's not like Jake beat George. Jake lost to George. He just didn't lose that bad. So not this day and age of boxing, you could lose, and you could lose not that bad against a guy who's supposed to win, who's old, and you could still get signed. I just haven't seen it since he got signed. I haven't seen anything, even against Paul Fleming. I mean, Fleming was supposed to be Fleming's older than George. That was a close fight. I just think Jake falls short. He just has one gear. And I don't know much about his opponent. There's just so many good fights. I'm not betting on that fight. Do you see any way Benavidez gets... Look, it's boxing. Guys, before I get into this, shout out to Andre for the question. We are approaching 30 minutes. We're 56 to 66 in here. Could you just thumbs up, like the video, and then I'll do my best to get to everybody's questions. The live chat's popping. It's only Tuesday. We're rocking and rolling. Check out my Inoue Junto Nakatani breakdown. I'm going to do a Andrew Hunt breakdown. There's the Benavidez fight. There's a lot of fights I want to get into. Do I see logically, no. Like my knowledge of the sport, my experience in the sport. Why I say no? Because we're seeing him go up another weight class. This is his first fight in another weight class. He's going up from light heavy to cruiser now. This guy started his career at super middle. And if we're playing patterns, his first 3 fights at light heavy, he won on points. Vosdick, Morrell, maybe what do you have? Anthony Yard was his last fight. He stops Yard. Zurdo Ramirez is a big, durable Mexican. Does Benavidez stop him? I don't know if Benavidez has that power. I don't know. He doesn't have that sort of that thudding power. He's a volume guy. I like Benny on points. Skye lost. Sasaki picked up a couple rounds off him. Next fight, he goes down 5-0 to Tanaka and then gets stopped. I see what you do. You're a math guy. You're a math guy. It's hard to be a math guy. Do you think Duarte stops Fierro? I think he can. Let's see what those odds are. Look, I don't really get too sexy with the methods until we see odds. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if we get them. I think I'm just getting money line right now. I think the stoppage is in play. I definitely think Duarte is going to go for the stoppage. That's one thing with. He's not like going to sit back and wait to counter. So it's not like if you're betting Duarte on stoppage, it's not like you're banking on the fact that you're betting on a counter boxer, hoping to catch his opponent or punching what, you're going to get if anything, if you're playing the stoppage from the opening bell to the last round, you at least be in the fight with an Oscar. You know what I mean? Your bet will be live until the fight ends with an Oscar Duarte fight. He's going to be on his front foot. He's going to be pushing the pace. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be determined. So historically, I do like playing the knockout on guys who fight like that. That's something to think about. I'd have to see the odds. If the odds are, we'll wait. We'll ask me that question in 2 days, Moss. How is Resendez going to stop Munguia's vote? This is what Rob likes Resendez. I got to ask Julius. Anybody talk to Julius today in the Discord? I'd like to hear Julius, because I know Rob, Skills is his name in our Discord, Rob Lee on the live chat. He's one of our sharps as well, and he's a fighter, and I think Rob's perspective is, interesting. Game planning, execution, trajectory, and coaching staff. Coaching staff does matter. Are we blinded by recency bias on both ends? Because instinctively, if I was just sitting here and not talking to you guys every day, my instinct right off the bat when that fight got signed was Jaime Munguia. It was. Right off the, as you guys do it, you see fights get announced. We have that secondary voice that boxing head in our head. You're like, like a fight. The rumor, there was a rumor today that, and it was just a rumor, that Shakur was going to fight Devin. Instantly, Shakur beats him. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but that's the voice in my head. When Shock Foster got signed to fight Ray Savage, Foster. So when Munguia and Resendez got signed, I instantly said Munguia. And then I'll sometimes not listen to that voice. It's not always 100% for me. I will change. But I haven't. The 2 tickets I've played so far, you haven't seen me play that fight yet. I'm still torn. I don't know, man. I like Jaime Munguia. It's so weird. I've been a Jaime Munguia fan. I'm a fan of boxers that are he's kind of an overachiever, and say what you will, yes, he has that, that this era Mexican inflated record, but that's anywhere in the world. At least he got those rounds in. What was he, 42-0, 41-0, and fucking almost all knockouts? But I've always liked a guy who's determined in the gym, who's not the most gifted. Munguia's gifts are his sort of like stature, his length, his height. He's big, but he's not like an explosive, fast twitch, one punch, speed demon sort of guy. And I kind of cheer for those guys. I watched my buddy Kelly Pavlik become a world champion being slept on his entire career. I was with him 4 fights in a row where he went into every fight as a massive underdog, and he wasn't just winning, he was knocking guys out. He was an underdog against Max Sertuche, knockout in the 9th. Go YouTube that one in Disneyland. I was there. He was supposed to get knocked out against Edson Miranda, a 3-1 dog. Kelly knocked out Edson Miranda. He gets the Jermaine Taylor fight. He was supposed to get dog walked, knocks out Jermaine Taylor. So, and Kelly wasn't the fastest. He was tall, 6'1", rangy for middleweight, but he wasn't the biggest. By no means was he muscular. He just had great timing, and he was super fucking tough, and he threw a 1 and 2. Kelly's punch selection was literally a jab and a cross. It's just his goddamn cross was like a freaking button. Just boom. And he just fucking, so I'm not comparing Munguia to Kelly at all. I'm just trying to come to terms with why I like Munguia, and I think it has a lot to do with I've always kind of been drawn to fighters that are overlooked or people hate on, that sort of thing. And so it's hard for me to pick Resendez in this fight. I think Munguia is better. I think Munguia is better than Resendez. We'll see. Resendez did look good, and I am a fan of Coach Robles. And Resendez did look good against Caleb. He looked sharp. Everything that, like, the Resendez who fought Caleb was the best version of him. He hasn't fought since then, too, so that's an issue for me. So he hasn't fought since then. He hasn't been active. He's a champ now, though. It's his belt. It's a good one, boys. Benavidez a lock? No. Nope, I don't believe in locks. John says it is. You'll never hear me say anyone's a lock. There's no such thing as a lock. There is no Shade Shagreen, boy. Shade Shagreen. Auntie Lonnie was like, hell to the nah. Hell nah. There ain't no locks out here. I can't see the knockout. Zurdo looks motivated. Yeah, Zurdo's beast, dude. Zurdo's massive, and like he has like this sluggish style that is like, how would you, dude? I don't. And Benavidez isn't a big puncher. Benavidez does his work, volume. Resendez versus Munguia is going to look like Munguia versus Derevianchenko. Ooh, shout out to Sergey Derevianchenko. Munguia's punch output was higher back then, though. Reynosa turns everyone defensive and punch one at a time. Yeah, Eddie Ray. It's a toss-up, boys. What are the odds saying? Wow. Wow, dude. This will be the fight of the weekend in which This fight will cause the most headaches for the bettors this weekend because the odds are good on each way. But whoever you choose, whoever loses is going to be pissed. How do I say this? Because everyone's pissed when we lose. There's a path to victory on both sides here. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't quite call this a coin flip. I'm not shocked at the odds. I think the odds are valuable on both sides. I I mean, I could see Munguia stopping Resendez. I might play the Munguia knockout at plus 275. I could see him stopping Resendez. I think Munguia is better than people think, man. He takes a lot of shit. Boxing fans, boy. Boxing fans, wow, boy. Munguia seems like the nicest dude out, too. Munguia does, you just see how he carries himself, married to the game, says the right thing, always in the gym, and shit, boys be hating. I don't know yet, man. We got time. We have a couple days. Hopefully they'll let us live bet the Hunt fight. I think he stopped. Yes. Yeah. Hey, look, guys, Ben Hussein's going to be in his face. He's big. He's aggressive. I've seen Hussein get his jaw broken before, though, against Ben Mahoney. Granted, it was 2020. Ben Hussein is a kid who we've watched over the last 6 years on the domestic scene here in Australia. Him literally grow up with not a lot of experience. He lost. It was a tough fight, but he lost to a guy who was like 6-8, and he got stopped. And so then people were questioning his willingness to train and his preparedness. But since then, man, he's looked aggressive. He's looked like he's added levels. He can punch. He's massive for the division. He's good on the mic. He wants all the smoke. He says all the right things. I think the fight ends by stoppage either way. So when those props drop, I don't mind that bet at all. He was with Eric Morales back then. Okay. Why did he leave Morales? How much money do you think is wagered on Benavidez across all sports books? Bro, user, I don't know where you're tapping in from, but not a lot in the UK. Because I watched 2 UK channels who both are saying that I feel like these cats are gaslighting us. Now, granted, they're not big channels. They don't have a lot of followers, which I don't care anyway. They have decent points, sometimes. It's one of those channels that I watch to see. I'll be like, oh, they're going that way. I'm definitely on the right track then. You know what I mean? Like, they're always picking crazy shit, and I'll be like, what is this channel saying? And I'll be like, they're disagreeing with me. All right, I'm on the right track then. So I think there's UK, maybe UK content creators hate on Americans. I don't know, but I haven't seen many Americans picking Zurdo. I don't like the Inoue by knockout odds, only plus 110. Yeah. Yeah, right now I just have a money line play. Skye losing, but Skye distance, Skye on points. Yeah. I think Skye's going to make it look easy. Inoue by knockout, are you playing it? Self-made. You will be the first to know if I do. We've created a really well-knit community here. So when I do post my bets, you'll see. We're riffing right now. We're in the sort of film study riffing phase, seeing where everybody's at. It's good to have, and this is why we're successful week after week, because we have varying opinions. I want to hear somebody sell me though on Resendez, the path to victory. How does Armando Resendez? What is he stopping Munguia? Is he winning more rounds than Munguia? How does he beat Jaime Munguia? His path. I want somebody to sell me on that because I need my eyes open. And TJ, one of our Discord sharps, Chilltown Boxing, he declared he's taking Nakatani to beat Inoue. So I want to hear TJ's path to victory. I want to hear everyone and if you were to ask me over the last few years, Johnny, who are you a bigger fan of? Junto Nakatani or Inoue? I would tell you Nakatani. Nakatani's been on my radar for at least 5 years. Shout out to my boy James Dominguez. James Dominguez is, affiliated with RGBA, Robert Garcia. He was part of that some of Kelly Pavlik's last few fight camps, which Kelly did out west with RGBA. I don't know if a lot of you guys already knew that. And they were telling me, I mean, this was years after, but I've been in contact with James Dominguez since those days. So somewhere around 2018, 2019, Dominguez, maybe 2017, James Dominguez was talking about Junto Nakatani, this Japanese kid, sparring all the Mexicans, cracking, real skinny kid. I think at the time he was maybe 112 pounds. So I've always liked the southpaw. I like that rangy style, and I like the swag. I like the character he has. I don't see him beating Inoue, though. I think with Inoue, we are looking at an all-time great. I'm not, I talked about this yesterday on my live stream. I'm not one of these guys that could just do a black and white Mount Rushmore. I think you if you're going to do a Mount Rushmore in boxing, you need a Mount Rushmore of heavyweights. You need a Mount Rushmore of middleweights. You need a Mount Rushmore of 135ers, lightweights. But when you're talking about guys 126 pounds and under, I mean, Inoue's on that mountain. I don't know if Nakatani is on that mountain. Nakatani to me is missing a gear. There's just a certain, it's hard to, like, his timing's great, his power's good, his output's there. I like his counters. He's good at range. He's good in the pocket. But to me, to what Inoue brings to the table, the energy he fights with, the volume, the angle, his angle, where he puts the fight, where he positions his opponent in the fight, how he could use his counters and his speed to negate his opponent's power. There's a lot of these little things that I feel Nakatani is missing. So when I want to hear somebody come on and tell me how Nakatani beats Inoue, because I know there's guys in my Discord who are taking Nakatani. Now, if it's a value play, I get that, but I want to hear Pat the victory. From my perspective, I just can't tell you this is a value play. Let's throw shit on the wall and hopefully it sticks. If I'm taking a plus 500, I'll at least give you my path to victory. I'll tell you. And this is why you guys come back to the channel. So interesting. Guys, we're about 45 minutes in. I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer. We're peaking about 82 right now on the live. Like the video, that's all I ask. And watch the Nakatani and Inoue breakdown. I'm interested though, man. And who's to say if the Nakatani fight against Logan didn't go the way it went? I'm sure you could dig up a live stream from September where I was taking Nakatani. So call it recency bias. I watched Nakatani go up from 18 to 122 like all of you guys did. Granted, Logan was 5'9", so Logan might have been the tallest guy, the biggest guy, in which Nakatani didn't have the height advantage, didn't have the reach advantage, and he was getting touched up, man. Two of the judges had a 115, 113. And I think one judge had it 117, 111. But I think 115, 113 either way was the right call. The eye was swollen. He was getting hit a lot. It seemed like he wasn't as sharp. It seemed like he was second guessing what he wanted to do. He wasn't fighting as proactive as normally. Maybe he just had an off night. But I don't even think Nakatani's best beats Inoue. I don't think Nakatani's best beats Inoue on any night. Inoue on points. PJ in the house. Shout out to PJ. If you're ever in Philly, link up with PJ the promoter. Comedy's OG, Kingpin. Holla at your boy. That eye has me worried though. Yeah. Especially when we talk about like scar tissue. Right here, scarring. Who knows? He could get popped, that thing swells up. It could happen. We saw it in his last fight. Munguia or Resendez? I think anyway, decision. I have live parlay, so hopefully Nakatani stands his ground like Picasso. Picasso did a lot. I mean, Picasso wasn't winning rounds. And Picasso chose to fight a more brave fight than MJ fought. That MJ, I was disappointed with MJ in the fight that he chose to fight. I thought MJ was going to fight more brave. I'm a fan of MJ. I've watched his career. Watching him fight the entire fight on the back foot and use the entire ring and just choose to survive and not take risks rather than I'll lose a decision rather than take risks and try to win and get knocked out. I kind of was bummed out by the MJ performance. Picasso fought him more brave. Still wasn't winning rounds. You know, guys, because at the end of the day, it's boxing. Who can win more rounds? How is Nakatani going to win more rounds? How is Resendez going to win more rounds? We have to ask, and if you can't answer that, then you got to pick these guys by knockout. That has to be your deductive reasoning. Junto did have pretty bad swelling in the Hernandez fight. Inoue can stop him if he opens him. I think the stoppage, if the stoppage manifests, I think it's going to be the atypical Inoue's investment into the body early, that investment to the body. And I think this could be one of those instances where that height advantage isn't going to be an advantage. I think he has a half inch, even though he's 5'8", and Noya is listed at 5'5". Their wingspan, on paper at least, unless I see them, here, because most people think they do the reach. They do the reach here. No, the reach is here. Wingspan. It's only a half inch on paper longer than Inoue's. When I was in my 20s, I would drink Jameson. I'm an old man now. I gotta clean it up. Inoue knockout. This fight is in front of 55,000 plus at the Tokyo Superdome. There's too much on the line. Jinso says he's coming to box, but only he has too many holes. Look out for that. Yeah. I don't think he has the speed or power to beat Inoue. That Oradora. Yeah, buddy. 65,000. Happy birthday from Sal. Appreciate you, man. I'm going okay, so Sal's going heavy on Resendez. I think Munguia is getting stopped. My bull play of the week. Munguia, too much wear and tear. Resendez up. We up. Johnny, you're more confident on the money line or the fight not to go the distance? Well, because it's a match, a heads-up play, I'm always going to be more confident on my heads-up play. Always. That's just the way, yeah. That is my confidence scale. Most confident, who's going to win? And then everything after that, whether it's a prop, method of victory, I do think it could. I don't think it goes the distance. I think Prates can do more. Yeah, knees and kicks and elbows. Prates is really the thing that I like about Prates is how intuitive he is in there and how creative he is in there. JDM is at his best when things look a certain way, and it's a fun fight. JDM could win, but he's got to use that jab. Yep, dog of the week. Put the hats on, boys. Find your hat. I think Hussein's a good value play, but no way he's 6'2". He's 6'2". Two swimming clear, both have leaky defense. Yeah, no, he's big, man. He's big for the division. I've met him multiple times. Guys, the fight no one's talked about, I know it's probably not going to get a lot of pub, is Sam Edgington versus Conor Walker. You guys know I'm a sucker for British fights, and that there's some good odds on that fight, man. I might do a dog parlay. I might throw Sammy Boy on there. I might throw Sammy. Dude, you put Sammy Boy, Resendez, Jin Sasaki. We're talking crazy odds. Zurdo started at 68. Hunt Hussein, no distance. I agree. Ever thought about doing small? No shit. You got to teach me, brother. Message me in the Discord. Hunt money line, yes. Skye distance, yes. Ioka distance. The fight to go the distance, I don't know, man. Ioka has a lot of tread, and those Japanese fights are fire fights. Anyway, decision or knockout, I like it. Anyway, definitely on the money line. Duarte money line. I think Duarte probably stoppages in play. Plus 2,000. Dude, great odds. I like the over. Resendez Munguia. All right, Rob is talking me into it, boy. I'm making sure Resendez not hurt. Okay. I'm making sure Resendez is not hurt or sick as we speak. Good. Rob with the inside info. Shout out to Skills in the Discord. Coming through with the insider info. I'm going to play your lead. I'm going to play your hand on this, mate. Before I put action on Munguia and Resendez, I want to hear your thoughts. Bando boys. Hey, Johnny. What's up, brother? Took a week off back out there. Appreciate you, man. It was a good week to take off, too, man. I know there wasn't a lot of action. Sometimes our best bets are the ones we don't make. Guys, we're almost an hour in. We got 80 people in here. Could you like this video? I went live a little bit earlier today. You can check that out. Check my fight prediction out of Inoue, Inoue, and Junto. It's up on the playlist now. That fight is off, King. Kieran Conway, that fight is off. It got canceled. Conway had to pull out due to an injury. I feel Munguia is not going to let this world title chance slip. No way. He won't, right? And the new. Both haven't fought in a year, Munguia and Resendez. Wow, so Munguia last fought in the rematch against Bruno. That rematch against Bruno seems like, when did he fight Bruno? He fought Bruno in Saudi, right? I feel like Resendez fought last January, though, right? So Jaime fought Bruno in May. And Armando fought Caleb in May. That is insane, dude. Those timelines for me are crazy. That seems like two different timelines. So yeah, they've both been shelved since then. Good call. That timeline's insane to me. It seems like it's been so much longer. I feel like anyway, same. That's a good parallel. That's a good parallel. I like it. I think Inoue could stop him too. I can't see Zurdo winning if Benny. Take my strong hand, child. Does anybody see any potential draws? Potential draws. Bilal Fawaz, Ryan Kelly. Could be a draw. I'm playing Bilal to win that. You never know in the UK. Off the top of my head. I mean, Resendez Munguia. Resendez Munguia, I mean, a draw could be in play there. Jorge Chavez, Tito Sanchez. You know, Jorge Chavez has won us money recently with his, you know, the first fight draw, which, you know, I thought he probably won, and then his redemption fight against Gucci Flores. And now this is his next, you know, kind of a step up against Tito Sanchez. That could end in a draw. Kona Walker, Sam Edgington. You know what? I might play the draw in Kona Walker versus Sam Edgington. I've never played a draw before, though. It kind of goes against my spirit. I like just the little boy in me. I can't play a draw. I have to have a definite outcome. Sub Johnny, just tune in. You still think Ben Hussein impossible? I'm saying we did more. I am taking Andrew Hunt, but I think Ben Hussein is live. I think Ben Hussein's defense is too leaky. He fights a little bit too tall, and we've seen him have durability issues. The flip-flopper. If McGinn wants one, he'll have to sharpen on defense and his open guard. But I hope in the process his output doesn't fade. I like Inoue UD. Knockout 7-12. Inoue TKO. I want to see swelling early from Junto. And then that's it. That's it. And then we up. I don't want to see Junto get knocked out cold, but I want to see him stomped. I could see Junto taking. I think Junto's going to take a beating, dude. That's all I'm going to say. I think Inoue is going to put belt to ass and beat the. I think Inoue Inoue is going to beat the brakes off of Nakatani. You know, clip this up if I'm wrong, but you know damn well if I'm right, this is going up on the gram. So if you're if you're seeing this in the future, what's up? I think Inoue is going to beat the brakes off of Nakatani. I just think he's too sharp, too fast, too strong. His angles are too good. In and out. His energy. Too confident, too. This is, guys, I did not like Nakatani's body language against Logan. In between like the third and fourth round, Nakatani's looking like, and that was the first time that I had ever seen him question himself. Some fighters will go their whole career. I've never seen Bud Crawford question himself ever. From the days at 135, I always Crawford had this awesome career, but I always reference Crawford's key fights started at Ricky Burns. Granted, it was his first world title, but how he had to go about that, he had to leave America, go to the UK, and fight a legend where he comes from, I think Scotland, in Ricky Burns. I never once saw Bud doubt himself, dude. Ever. In any of his fights. Even in the 10th round, that bit that went viral when Bomac tells him he's down against Porter in the 10th, and Bud's like, I'm down. What the hell? And he goes out there and stops him. I've seen Junto doubt himself. That bothers me. I've never seen Inoue doubt himself. Ever. Ever. And I think that's a character issue. I think that's all I'm saying. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. Damn, you guys are killing. Awesome chat. Skate and review popping in. Nakatani is going to shell up in the high guard and get stopped. I could see it. I could see it. I like the stoppage, guys. You know I'm playing that. Thank you, boys. You guys have talked me in to playing the stoppage. I think I'm gonna put it up now. Tank did that too. Barrio stopped him after Floyd told him that. Yeah. Yeah. He was like, what? Was it Leo Santa Cruz? My favorite Tank moment was that uppercut against Leo Santa Cruz. I still think that's Tank's best win. That was like 5 years ago now. That was my favorite fan. Think of it, man, his career could have gone a totally different way. Tanks. I used to be a fan of Tank. The Leo Santa Cruz days, I was a fan of Tank. I'm not a fan of Tank anymore. It's hard, you know, I'm not a Tank hater, but I'm not a fan of him. Cruz through three, I know. Oh, I know. Through 3 straight and boom. Boom. That's how you drill that. You would drill that, especially people learning the sport of boxing. You drill those power shots with your hands behind your back, you know, working your shoulder and hips. So throwing those punches with your body rather than, you can tell if somebody's ever had a coach before, if they're recording themselves punching, how they punch. You know what I mean? It's punches should be an outcome of that. Boom, boom, boom. That shit was gorgeous. Man, with Tank's so good though. Dude, Tank's intuitiveness, his instincts in there, is fucking. He frustrates the shit out of me, man. So when I say I'm not a fan, it's not because of his fighting. He just frustrates. It's hard for me to be a fan of somebody that's that frustrating. Could you imagine if a guy like Arturo Gatti had the skill and talent of Tank Davis? Like the spirit of Gotti and how he fought, and if he had the Tank Davis skill, the skill set, oh, we're talking about a perfect fighter. I got Jamie beating Toro. Toro gonna brawl with Jamie. That's Jamie's fight bigger. He's bigger. He hits harder. More volume. Body punching. Yeah, I don't see Toro path to victory. But then again, nobody saw Toro beating Caleb, and that's the thing, guys. Nobody saw. I don't know anybody who picked Resendez to beat Caleb. Not one. I didn't see one ticket. Not one ticket said Resendez money line at plus 600. Nakatani shut up against Logan's. Yeah, right. And look, and as a better guys like us, we have to pay attention to that. That falls what we're talking about Nakatani. That falls into body language and nonverbal communication. That tells us another story. You know, the storyline of fighters isn't always what the action is or the results of a fight, because he won that fight. But sometimes even in wins, you could see something that is a predictive variable of the future. Inoue is going to put him back into that place of question. Inoue is going to make Nakatani answer those questions. He's going to make him doubt himself. I'm playing the stoppage right now. I'm playing the stoppage right now, boys. Thank you. Thank you. They love Eddie. Thank you to the chat. You're going to see me post it in the Patreon. I'm playing the stoppage. I appreciate the boys. He's so entertaining. Yeah. Am I cussing? Oh, I got to, you know what? If I'm cussing more than usual, that means I haven't talked to my mom in a few weeks. Good for calling me out, Dwayne. I do got a little bit of truck driver in me. I can always tell when I need to talk to my mom if I'm like spiritually far away. If you start hearing me swearing a lot, I talked about drink. Yeah, I got to talk to my mom. Great example of Bud and Spence. Bud was so motivated. All right, guys, I got to lock it up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That was the second live stream of the day. Check out the Inoue breakdown. We have a lot in front of us, a lot of money to be made, a lot of boxing to chat. You guys are the best squad in the house. Thank you, man. We up.